A bit over a month ago, you may have seen this in the news, that there was an Israeli soldier who desecrated a statue of Jesus in Lebanon. Ugly photos. He took this sledgehammer, and it's just awful. Thankfully, a poll says that 90% of Israelis say what he did was wrong. I don't want to think about that other 10%, but 90, that's a pretty good number. But if you saw the image, it really represents, it's a symbol of the barbarity and the questionable ethics of this war. And also what this soldier did is just so anathema to anything that we believe, our Judaism. Now, there are lots of ways to practice Judaism, right? We have the ultra-Orthodox. Some of them have their fur hats and they still speak Yiddish. We've got secular humanists who take out the God language. We've got Reform and Conservative and Orthodox. Whatever we are, we're all Jewish, though. And our Judaism says, don't do what that soldier did. Respect different faiths. If only that soldier had learned our Torah, the same Torah we have from Mount Sinai. Because that's what we're celebrating this day, this holiday, is the giving of Torah at Sinai. That's Shavuot. And we were all there, as we said. We were at the mountain, we were at the wilderness, right? Sometimes it talks about the mountain of Sinai, but sometimes it says, well, we're in the wilderness of Sinai, right? That mountain in the middle of the wilderness. So the question is, why was Torah given in the wilderness? One answer, as told by Rabbi Bradley Shabbat Artson, he's the vice president of American Jewish University out in LA. Rabbi Shabbat Artson says, the wilderness for the sages is that territory belonging to no one single person or people. So too, God's love and concern are not the prerogative of any single people. To claim a monopoly on them is to diminish the grandeur of the Holy One. To be a spiritual seeker means becoming as the wilderness our ancestors wandered, taking in travelers from all directions. In other words, the wilderness is no one's land, right? It's not a developed city or a town. It is the wilderness, and it is empty, and it is no one's. And therefore, the Torah is no one singular possession. And because Torah is a gift from God, a sign of God's love, no one people, no religion can say we have a monopoly. No one can say my way is the only right way. I mean, they do say it, but they shouldn't say it. We can't shut out others. We can't ignore the wisdom of others. That soldier could have learned a thing or two from this teaching. And this week, we perhaps, if you were listening to the news, learned about someone who did learn this teaching, even if he didn't know it. Because, of course, there was that shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego on Monday. There were the suspects, allegedly these two teens who had just hateful rhetoric, and there were 3 victims of the shooting. And one of those victims was a man named Amin Abdullah. Amin Abdullah, he was the security guard there. Now, Amin took his role as security officer seriously, people say. He helped protect children in the building, even at the cost of his own life. And I found this on NPR, and it just spoke to me. This is how his daughter described him and his effect on people. She says, and I hope in this moment we can all come together and to be kind to one another and to remember who he truly was, regardless if you were a Muslim. If you were Christian, if you were Jewish, if you had no faith, he didn't care. He would treat you human to human. He would smile at people he did not know. Amin Abdullah, this hero, understood that it did not matter your faith, it did not matter your background. He knew that it's about seeing each other as human. He knew that no one has a monopoly on God. He knows that no one has a monopoly on being created in God's image. Now, thankfully, we know this teaching right here at 6601 Bradley Boulevard are also well, right? We who share a space with Muslims and Christians, this space right here between Friday afternoon and Sunday morning, 3 different faiths. And of course, we know it because many of us in this room, have family members, spouses, children who are of other faiths, perhaps we ourselves. And unlike that soldier, but like Amin Abdullah, our Torah is one of shared understanding. Our Torah celebrates our people, even as we also celebrate all humanity. Our Torah is one of acknowledging that no one has a monopoly on God's love or revelation, even as we celebrate our revelation this evening. So in these very divisive times where it can be especially easy to turn inward, to associate only with like-minded folks who have the same religion or maybe the same political party, Shavuot reminds us to do both, to celebrate our special gift of Torah and to celebrate our shared humanity. Let us celebrate both, and we say, Amen. Take a few moments to think about how we celebrate our gift, our relationship with God, and our shared humanity.